All right. So there's some prerequisite steps uh, for, uh, needed for us to set up our certificate manager so that we can enable HTTPS. So you click on certificate manager here. All right. Let's request a certificate from AWS. To request a certificate is free. I think we can only be charged for the resources, the buckets and all that, but to request a certificate is free, definitely. So let's click on request a certificate. So you see, request a public certificate. So we click next. So it's saying fully qualified domain name. So, and that would be our website, the one that is our bucket, the one that has our content, the one that has the budget, the object. So we say soagilex.com. All right. So we can add another certificate, but I've tried this. Is bringing me back to it's asking me to create it separately. So we need to request two certificates for the two buckets. All right, we need two certificates for the two buckets. The reason why we need two certificates for the two buckets is when our customer try to browse here, remember it will redirect them to the other one without prefix. All right. So we need certificate, but for both of them, we need to request that certificate in order to enable HTTPS for both buckets. All right. So we scroll down. Here we have two options. Validation method. We have the one with DNS validation. This is recommended when we have a domain name registered. All right. So this, you can make use of this as well, but in the best practice, this is quite easier. All right. So we leave it at that. The reason why they are requesting for validation method is just to make sure that you own the domain name, that is not for somebody else. All right. So just to make sure that they are issuing the certificate to the owner of the domain. So that's just the reason. So and that's it. So we scroll down and request a certificate. All right. So let's request another one for the second bucket. Requests. Next. And this time around, we're going to type SO Agilex I hope I'm not missing anything. So, yeah. It's fine. So we scroll down, we leave it at this, DNS validation, and we click on requests. So the next thing we have to do here, okay, let me refresh. Let me refresh. So now we have requested for 2 certificates in order to enable our HTTPS, all right? It is issued by Amazon, but we still have pending validation. So the next thing we have to do now is to click on certificate ID here. All right. And create record in Route 53. All right. So we click here. We scroll down and finally create record. Okay. We click on create record. You see, successfully created DNS record. All right. So and we have done the one for our bucket without prefix. So let's scroll down and click on this as well. So we scroll down and we click on create records in Route 53. All right. As you can see, we still have pending validation as well. So we say create record in Route 53. So we click here, create record. All right. So successfully created DNS record. Then this is where we had issues yesterday. The reason why we had issue is because I forgot to click here, create records in Route 53. We just left it like that and we're waiting for validation. So I hope this time around we are able to get through. So while we are waiting, let us quickly check Route 53 to see if the records are actually created as indicated. Route 53. Yeah, so the next thing, let's click on SOHLS 53, right? Just to quickly check to see if those records are created. Yes, as you can see, the records are created and C name, you can see C name. So these are the 2 records that we just created, the one that indicates C name. And let's see where it is pointing to. Okay, so yeah. So these are the 2 records, all right, that we just created. Certificate name, that C name means certificate name, I guess. The certificate we just requested. So let's go back to the certificate manager and refresh. Let's see. Let me refresh. Yes, issued. As you can see, issued. So, sorry, list of certificates. So let me refresh again. We're still waiting for the other one, but this is completely issued, you see. So we're waiting for validation. So let me refresh again. So yeah, let me wait a little bit to see if so with this now, let me see. Yes, you see, both certificates are finally issued. I hope you guys, I hope you take notes of where we made mistake yesterday. It was because we're supposed to create the record in Route 53 and we kept on waiting. Just a click would have solved the problem. So both certificates are finally issued. All right. So we are good to go with the certificates. All right. So the next thing for us to do is to search for Cloudfront. All right. So even with this, let me see, there's something that ends with. So let's search for Cloudfront. Cloudfront. Front. Click. We click on create Cloudfront distribution. All right. So you come here and remember initially I said we have like 4 services we are going to get familiar with in this project. The first one is S3 bucket. The second one is domain name service. That's Route 53. The third one is certificate manager that will enable HTTPS. And the fourth one is Cloudfront. All right. So we are learning 4 services at a go. So Cloudfront, you see, choose origin domain. So in this Cloudfront, it's going to be for the 2 bucket as well. Let's not forget, it's going to be for the 2 buckets. So we are going to create them separately. All right. So you see, when you click here, do not choose this. All we need to do is to go back to S3 buckets. Hold on. Yes. Let's go back to S3 buckets. We need the HTTP link to paste here, and that will be our original domain name. So let me see, S3 buckets. So let's start with the one with www.version. Let's start with this. And the next thing to do here is to come to properties. We click on properties. We scroll down all the way to the bottom. You see here, And this will represent that domain name in our Cloudfront settings. So we click here and we go back to our Cloudfront and paste here. You see? Yes, as you can see. So let's scroll down, leave it here as default, leave this default, scroll down, leave everything as default. Let's scroll down. And here, viewer protocol policy. So what we need to do here is to redirect HTTP to HTTPS. All right. So what we need to do is we click on here and scroll down. Scroll down. Let's scroll down. Scroll down. There's a place I want us to make some changes. Okay. Add domain name. All right. So we have item. So our domain name is going to be, which one are we treating? It's going to be alternative domain is going to be our S3, www.so, the one with prefix, so agilex, all right, .com. And we go to the SSL certificate. So when we drop down, we're supposed to see the link to the certificate we created. You see here. So let's select the one for www.soagilex.com. We click on it here. All right. So just make sure that, take note of this, this is the one we are making use of. And remember, we went back to S3 bucket to click on that link, this one. Let me show you. Let me scroll. You see, we got this from our S3 buckets, right? We click on www.soagilex.com and we scroll down and copy this link. So this to tell us that we're dealing with the one with prefix now. And we came here, we redirect HTTP to HTTPS, and we scroll down. All right. So remember, we enter this and we choose this. So the next thing for us to do is to leave everything as it is, and let's create distribution. Create. Successfully created distribution. All right. So let's go back to distribution. Let's go back to Cloudfront and let's create another one. You see, as you can see, enabled. All right. So let's create the one for the other bucket without www. So to get the domain name, we have to go back to the S3 buckets. Let's click here. And let's choose the one without the prefix, this one. All right. So let's click on this one. Click on properties, and let's scroll down all the way to the bottom. You see? So let's click the link here. This is going to be our domain name in our Cloudfront settings. Let's copy and go back to the Cloudfront and click and paste. Let's paste. Yeah. As you can see, SO Agiles, it doesn't come with the prefix, all right? So take note of that. So the next thing to do is to scroll down, leave everything as default. So we scroll down. Yes, don't let us forget this. All right. So we're going to click on it, redirect HTTP to HTTPS. Let me make sure that everything is correct. Okay, so yeah, I think we actually need this. Redirect HTTP to HTTPS, yes. So we scroll down. All right, scroll down. So add item, we click on add item and we enter our bucket name for soagilex.com and we choose our certificate here. We choose this one with the one without prefix. We scroll down and we create distribution. All right. So yeah. So we go to go. We have done for the 2 buckets. So the next thing for us to do, so lest I forget, let's go back to S3 buckets and make an adjustment here. S3 buckets. Let's click the other one without prefix. Let's make an adjustment. Let's click on this. Click on permission. No, click on properties, sorry. And scroll all the way to the bottom. Click edit. Remember in the beginning, I said we're still going to change this to HTTPS, all right? So, and remember, it is this bucket we are using to redirect, you see? So don't forget the one without prefix. So you save changes. All right. So yes, everything is fine. Cloudfront, everything is fine. So yeah, this is the Cloudfront. So we have successfully created Cloudfront for both, for both buckets, our website, you see. So let me expand this. Let me try something. If I copy this now, all right, copy and paste in my web browser and click. So it's going to hold me down. So yeah, let me not distract with this. So the next thing for us to do now is to go to Route 53, all right? Let's go to Route 53. So we have successfully created our Cloudfront for the two. As you can see, the status is enabled. All right. Oh, this is still deploying. So let's wait a little bit for this. All right. So yes, this is what I wanted to try just now. You see what I did? Let me show you back again. You see, the reason why I didn't get results is because this is still deploying. So I tried to copy this domain name. You see, you know, we have actually created the Cloudfront and attached the Cloudfront to our AWS issued certificate. The certificate that was issued to us is for HTTPS, for a secure connection for our website. And we have attached that certificate to our cloud front. All right. But our S3 bucket, our website is still pointing directly to our S3 bucket. Meanwhile, it's supposed to point to our cloud front. So our cloud front will catch any request that is coming from the users and now redirect it to our S3 bucket. By doing so, the CloudFront is enabling our HTTPS, our secure connection, so that our content and our objects will be safe. Will be secured, and our website will improve on its performance and to the satisfactions of high-profile companies or ordinary users. So you can read more about it, but in a layman explanation, that's what I understand by those services. All right. So you see, just to test, you see, I copied this and let me do that again. I pasted this and you see, our DevOps manual came out, you see, but it's not advisable here, all this blah, 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 you see, because it's not showing our main website, which is www.soagiles.com. All right. So what we need to do now is to go back to Route 53. Let me see. Where's Route 53 here? Okay, let me open another tab. AWS Cloud. So let's go back to Route 53. So what we need to do in Route 53 is to make sure that okay, sorry, click on hosted zones. Click on here. Yeah, so yeah. So yes, so what we need to do now, as you can see, this A records, the one without prefix, soagiles.com, and another one with prefix, www.soagiles.com. As you can see, it is pointing to S3 direct. It's routing our traffic to S3 bucket directly. All right. So, and our website is not secured yet. So, in order to make it secure, when customer access our website from here, it's supposed to point to Cloudfront first. Then from Cloudfront, it will now point to S3 bucket. Remember, we have created a certificate and attached that certificate to our Cloudfront. So thereby we have HTTPS standby, all right? So what we need to do now, we have to make sure that both websites, this and this, is pointing to Cloudfront, and from Cloudfront, it will point to what is it called? To our S3. So let me check something once again. Let's see. Let's browse www.soagilex.com. soagilex.com. As you can see, it's still showing us not secure. All right? It's because the presence of Cloudfront is not felt yet in this configuration. All right. So, and if you say SO Agilex, the one without prefix, you see, enter, not secure. All right, but it's redirecting to one another. So here, what we need to do right now to make our website a secure one, HTTPS, come here, take note of these two A's, all right? Let me explain this. soagiles.com, this NS as SOA comes from AWS. It's a default. You cannot even delete these two, all right? So this one, it is a certificate that was issued. These two, C name, certificate name, all right? So why this one is for the record that we created when we are requesting for our certificates. All right. So now the next thing to do is to click on this. We are going to edit record. Let me go back again for you to see what I did there. Can I expand this? No. Is it possible for me to expand this? Okay, cool. So what we need to do here now is to click on this. We need to edit the record. You come here, click on edit record. So we don't need to enter anything here. All right, just leave it at soagiles.com because this is the one we are dealing with without prefix. All right, so scroll down. As you can see here, it says, it's telling us that presently the traffic is being is routing the traffic to S3 buckets at the moment. But we don't need that. We need to let it route the traffic to our Cloudfront, all right? You see, alias to Cloudfront distribution. So you click on this, all right? So here, when we drop down, When we drop down, this is what we see. S3, no. So this choose distribution, what we need to do here is to go back to our Cloudfront. Let me see. Do I still have a Cloudfront here? Okay. Let me go back to our Cloudfront. Okay. So we are dealing with the one with SO Agilex, right? So what we need to do is copy from here. You know, we are dealing with the one without what is it called? Without prefix. So copy this here, and let's go back to Route 53. And paste. You see? You see what I did there, right? So SO Agilex. So you have pasted. So the next thing to do is to save. You have sorted that out. So the next thing to do is, let's deal with the one with prefix as well. You click here and you click on edit record. Edit record, leave it as this. So route traffic to S3, no. So let's click this and choose Cloudfront distribution. Remember my explanation, right? So click on Cloudfront distribution, and here, remember, choose distribution. We have to go back to our Cloudfront, just like we did earlier, and let's copy this. Copy this. Copy, and let's go back to Route 53. Where is it? Okay, so come here and paste. All right. So the next thing for us to do is to save. All right. So everything is set. We have successfully point our bucket. We have successfully pointed our website to Cloudfront, and from Cloudfront it will point to our S3 buckets. So I'm going to show you what I just did now. You see what I did? Formerly, it was pointing to S3, right? So you can see here, SO Agilex now is pointing to Cloudfront. You can see here. And if you check here, the one with prefix is pointing to Cloudfront. So finally, let's check our website to see if you have a secured connection. So I will enter www.soagilex.com and enter. Good. As you can see, we have HTTPS, and that tells us that our website is secured. And we can see the manual here. You see? You can see the manual. So let me open another browser. Let's check for the one without prefix, soagilex.com. As you can see, it redirected me to the one of www, and it's showing a secured connection, which is HTTPS. And this is the DevOps manual. All right. So this is the end. The projects we are able to create and deploy a static website using Cloudfront. And this tells us that we have successfully deployed a secured website. All right, so this is the end of the project, and thank you everyone, and God bless you. Amen. If you have any questions, you can discuss that together. All right, bye.